today we're going to talk about the education of the children, and for that I'm going to use the words of the Mexican Estrella Rodriguez. Let me tell you. A mother raised her hand and asked, "What can I do if my child is on the table and doesn't want to go down?" "Tell him to come down," I told her. "I'm telling him, but he doesn't listen to me and doesn't come down," the mother answered in a defeated voice. "How old is the child?" I asked. 3 years, she said. Situations similar to this occur frequently when I have the opportunity to communicate with groups of parents. Many conflicts are being lived because parents are afraid or weak to exercise their authority, and those children are growing under problem with them. Because these parents have a hard time making the decision to set limits and exercise their authority correctly. Why do your children do what they do? Because you let them. They do what they do because you let them. Children become what they are because their parents allow it. That's simple. If your son is making a mess of his life, you will not like this answer. You will come to me and give me a million excuses. You will blame the music he listens to, the movies he sees, the books he reads, if he reads, the violence transmitted by television, the educational system, or the pressure exerted by society or his friends. So, put aside the indignation and think about this truth. Your children are the product of your paternity, or what is the same, in your way of educating them. As simple as that. Why do your children do what they do? There are no consequences of bad behavior. Parents let their children do what they want, with very little information about what is acceptable and what is not. If they do something wrong, there are no consequences for the unacceptable behavior. Sometimes we say, if you do this, this will happen to you, and if you don't do that, this will happen to you. They don't do what they have to, and nothing happens. We don't fulfill the promise of consequences warned. Do you know what becomes a father who does not comply with the consequences warned? In a liar. And that is exactly what our children learn, to lie and to promise without fulfilling. They learn that nothing happens. Why do your children do what they do? You say to your children they are special. Maybe you will not agree with me on this. Believe me, it was also difficult for me to understand and accept it, but it is a reality. If you are one of those who currently believes that your little angel is special, I regret to tell you that it is not. If you tell your children constantly that they are special, you harm them more than you help them. Your child is special to you and only for you. It is not for anyone else. Your son was born with all your love, and seeing him growing up is a marvel. But when he grows up and crosses your door to go to school, he is just one more child on the school list, and there is nothing special about him. In the real world, your daughter is not a princess, nor is your son a prince. He's just another child. Children must learn to grow knowing that the moment they leave your loving arms and enter the real world, no one will love them for the mere fact of existing as you love them. Why do your children do what they do? You make your children the most important thing in your life. They are not. I know that you think they are, but it's not like that. When you let your children believe that they are the most important person in your life, they learn to manipulate you, and you will end up doing what they say. Your children are important. Your children should be loved unconditionally. But parents who put above all the happiness of their children and sacrifice their own life and sometimes their marriage too, Then, when you finish the job as a father, your children will grow and leave you, and will go in search of their own happiness, and you will stay only with your spouse at best. If all your time and energy is spent only on your children, when they leave, you will not have the certainty that your partner will be with you. That's one of the reasons why there are divorces right after the children get older and leave home, because the only thing they had in common were the children, and never tried to feed the marital love as a bond of union. The same goes for single mothers and fathers. They spend all their time and energy on their children. They sacrifice their own life, thinking that it's the best to serve them and put their lives on hold while helping them mature. But then the children leave and they are left alone without a partner with whom to grow old together. Usually they end up treating and seeing their 50-year-old as if they were 4 years old. Why do your children do what they do? Fail to teach you the difference between rights and privileges. Children have, among others, the following rights: to life, to play, to freedom of opinion, to a family, to protection against negligent treatment, to food, to be loved, to receive education, etc. Privileges are concessions won by a given action. We buy our children things, for example, the coolest video games, or brand clothes in our shoes, or a pet, and we even take them to the movies or on vacation. We buy them the latest generation phones, etc. And all for free, in exchange for nothing. Today, I tell you that even if you had the money to please your son, you have to teach him how to earn it. He has to know that the things he likes cost, and he has to pay a price for them. Even these things will help you in negotiating attitudes and behaviors. Why do your children do what they do? Work in the self-esteem of your child. The word self-esteem is a compound word. Self, and esteem, love. That is, love oneself. You cannot give him a positive assessment of himself, because we confuse encouraging and supporting them with increasing their self-esteem and changing them. If he has high self-esteem, he will succeed in everything. But in reality, it is the other way around. If he succeeds in everything, he will increase his self-esteem. So, if you want them to have high self-esteem, teach them to achieve their successes. Fight for them, because everything costs effort, dedication, and perseverance. And that's all. I hope you like it. Bye. Si te gusta el contenido, suscríbete, porfa, y dale like a todos los vídeos que puedas. Gracias.